Average Pat's Movie Reviews.
Hi everyone, Average Pat here to sit to chat today about the new movie Yesterday. This movie is based on Beatles music having not existed in the world. It's a nice little interesting twist on a what-if scenario. And it stars Himesh Patel as Jack Malik and Lily James as Ellie Appleton. And has a very surprising cameo by Ed Sheeran himself, who really actually embraces his role and has fun with it. The movie, the premise of the movie is Jack Malik is a struggling songwriter who's got songs that just aren't cutting it. He believes that he still has a talent. He just isn't booking anything good. He's not selling anything well. He works part-time at a Costco type warehouse. He just can't quite find that niche where he's doing quite well enough. He finds that it's just frustrating. It's over the top. Ellie's been his manager for years, and they're just not going anywhere. He decides to call it quits. While he's riding his bike home, there is a momentary worldwide blackout that lasts 12 seconds. And in that 12 seconds, he gets blindsided by a bus that doesn't see him, and he doesn't see it, obviously. When he wakes up in the hospital, he discovers that nobody knows the Beatles at all. Nobody knows any of the music, any of the lyrics, any of the songs, never heard of them at all. When he finally gets a chance, he goes home and looks on Google, and of course Google doesn't have any kind of clue as to who they are. He types in Beatles and it comes up with a dung beetle. He's frustrated by this. He thinks it's initially a joke, then realizes maybe this is a chance for him to finally be successful. And he starts doing what people would be very tempted to do, and he passes the music of the Beatles off as his own and becomes, a little bit more and more successful and starts making it bigger and bigger. The movie details his struggle with the guilt he feels of it's not his music, but he's doing well. Is it right to do? Is it wrong to do? Is he a good person for doing it? Is he a bad person for doing it? Is it changing him as a person overall? Is his fame getting to his head? Is life completely and irrevocably going to be different? Is it going to go back to the way it was? It's a nice look at the daily struggle of somebody who's going through something like this. I was pleasantly surprised. I figured it would have a typical Groundhog Day twist or any kind of movie where something is different or altered. But it didn't follow the typical stereotypes of movies. It made its own path. The soundtrack, obviously, when you pull 17 Beatles songs out and do them in a movie, it's kind of hard to say it's bad. The songs are incredible. He sings and performs them well. I'm not positive if he really sang all of them. I know he didn't play all of them. He did play some. But his performance, Himesh Patel's performance, was very, very good. It was you could feel his emotions and his passion put into it. Lily James, I think she's an incredible actress, a beautiful actress, a good personality that she portrays through all of her characters that she's done. I especially loved her in the movie Baby Driver as Deborah. I thought it was a very small role, but very important and powerful role overall. And this one is right up her alley. It's a powerful role that you don't realize how important it is until after the movie, when you stop and think and go, wait a second, that was a really great performance by her. Overall, the typical storyline's not there. It's blazing a new path, which tends to be a little muddied at some points. Unfortunately, Danny Boyle was the director. He actually turned down doing the new Bond film, Bond, I think number 25, to make this film instead. And you can see he put a lot of effort into it, a lot of passion into it. He went out of his way to make it his own, and it did a very good job, despite the fact that some parts were a little bit muddy. Overall, great story, great movie. The acting was very well done. Ed Sheeran's role was hilarious and beautiful and pretty neat at the same time. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I do respect him as a musician, and the band's very, very good. Growing up in my family's household, we're all, not to sound conceited, but we're all very musically inclined, and we're all very familiar with all types of music. So The Beatles, obviously, we're all very well versed in singing along with all the songs and humming them. As I walked out of the theater last night, was an obvious thing. Driving the whole way home, I couldn't stop singing Beatles songs. It's once they get in your head, they're there, and this movie puts them there, and you stop and think of the context of them and what they mean to you. It makes you look at the songs from a different point of view, and to me, that makes it a good movie. That makes you think, what would you do if you were in that situation? If you had the ability, if you had the talent to play the music, to sing the music that nobody else knew, but only you did, but it wasn't yours. Would you take that same step? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out someday. Overall, I give this movie easily a 4.25 out of 5, 4.25 out of 5. Like I said, it's not quite perfect. It is more of a love story than an homage to the Beatles, but the characters are very well developed. Himesh Patel and Lily James have a great chemistry together. And it was neat watching them. The interactions of all the other characters, to me, some of them seemed a little bit forced, but it seemed like a true camaraderie of friends that made this movie together. I don't think it was meant to be a huge, smashing blockbuster. It was meant as a tribute and a love story to the Beatles and to general love stories. And I think they did a very good job in that. So again, 4.25 out of 5. I highly recommend it. It's a good movie. It does leave you walking out of the theater with the songs in your head. Just be ready for that. There are quite a few good moments in there that you will experience. There's quite a few sad moments you'll experience. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. Remember, if you like this or any of my reviews, please give me a thumbs up here on YouTube. Give me a like on Facebook. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss any new reviews. I got a whole lot more coming out this summer. Lion King's coming out in 2 weeks. I've already got my tickets. I've got everything already lined up and hope to be giving you guys more movies. If you have any ideas of movies you want me to review or critique, please leave them in the comments on this one or any of my other movie videos, my movie reviews. I appreciate it. Thank you very much and have a great day.